Good afternoon. We're back on Channel 95, Tuesday, 7 o'clock at night. And we're back for one more show of the neighborhood news. And today, and before I talk to my guest, I would like to just mention that this show, you can view this show on our Facebook page, neighborhood news page, or YouTube page. You can see it through this week, but this show will be broadcast election night, so Tuesday 7 o'clock at night. At this time, the polls should be closing very soon, and we will be able to find out who's going to be the next president of this great country. And with me today, I have my friend Frank Wayne. How you doing, Frank?
Doing good, Carlos. Doing good.
We're taping, so he's not nervous today.
Yes,
but
be,
the day of this show will be on. Yeah, you will be nervous.
Yes, I know. It'll be 7 o'clock, right?
Yeah, yes, we're going
election night.
At
okay.
7 o'clock.
All right, I'll be ready to go to the Trump victory party then. So.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Where you going to party?
There's different ones. There's going to be one in Boston. The big ones, of course, the Trump Plaza, I guess, in New York City. But I know down in Daytona Speedway, they've got that whole speedway reserved.
Really?
Right. So I don't know. It's supposed to be a big time down in Florida. I know that. So they are counting.
Can he claim all those?
They are counting on a big victory.
Can he claim all those expenses on his income taxes next year?
Yeah, you can claim going down there. Yes, I can. I can. I don't know if I'm going to be down there or not. But anyways, that's where it's.
But we are back, and the reason that today that. We have, it's only the both of us, is because I will be here representing the Democrat Party, the Hillary Clinton, and Donald Trump is going to be defended by Frank Wayne. I don't know how that good is, but you know, whatever. It is what it is.
Okay.
I don't know how far we can go with this half an hour, but we will see.
Yes.
And one thing that I would like to start by saying is for both candidates, I really don't believe what is out there on the internet for both parties, for both candidates. A lot of lies being put on media, a lot of things that actually it's not true for both candidates. Now I'm taking.
Okay.
I'm taking. And both candidates, because both candidates did mistakes. Both candidates have dirty laundry. We all know that. We all admit this.
Yes.
But we have to pick one.
Right.
And that's when the difference comes in. What I believe that she's going to be able to do and what she represents, and that's what Frank thinks that Donald Trump will be doing if he gets elected, and he thinks that that's going to be making a difference.
Yes, that's basically the story. But of course, the voters are going to be, 95% are going to be already voted by the time this thing gets aired. Unfortunately, there. But I do think that Trump is going to win, and I think he's going to win by a pretty good-sized margin. We will see. By the amount of people that are showing up at these different rallies, we're getting over 20,000 people at these different various rallies. It's a strong indication that the country really wants change and wants these things to go up rather than continue to go down, which is what the condition the country is in right at the present time.
Let me see if you will agree with me that shirts don't vote. Signs don't vote.
Yes.
Rallies don't vote.
At one time, Carlos,
a lot of people, I believe, Frank, that a lot of people are going on these rallies. Number one, they don't vote, but they're there because they want to. It's an opportunity to see Trump.
Well, Bill Clinton had one recently in Oklahoma. Only 50 people showed up. And some of these, and also the...
Yeah, and Donald Trump had one that just 8 people show up.
It's basically, it's more like we're way over the record. We have never been through a candidate of either party that has produced the turnouts that Donald Trump is producing. And I think that's where the vote's going to be. those folks are all going to be out and voting, and they're going to be voting, I believe, all for Trump. So we'll see. We'll see.
I think that
By
either
this
way,
time we'll know.
Frank, I think either way, the country, it's gonna be a hard 4 years going down.
I definitely agree. We are so far in debt right now. We're $20 trillion in debt at the present time.
It's no president's going to make a miracle.
You look around, Carlos, and think about this. Going back just the last few years, we never saw people begging on the sidewalks like we do now. You stop at a red light, and there's usually some panhandler out there looking for money because he doesn't have a job. And you go back 10 years, you did not see that. And this is all throughout the country. It's not just here in Fall River. This is wherever you go, you find this panhandling thing because the people do not have jobs and they're hurting very bad.
Well, economy, and you know that as economy, it's something that it's no president makes a difference.
It makes a big difference.
Economy, it's something that goes and waves, goes up and comes down. So depending who the president's going to be in office, either it's going to have, he's going to take credit for, or he's going to be blamed for.
Well, I think it makes a big difference who's in office.
Economy, it's a wave thing.
When Ronald Reagan was in, everything went up. And then what we've got now is just a major disaster with healthcare, with the drug problem we've got, with the high crime rate, particularly in a place like Chicago, where you're getting like 50 murders a weekend there, you know? It's all these big major problems we have, and then of course the money. There's no money out anymore. The money is, we're so far in debt, it's going to be hard for whoever gets in to do anything on a college.
Frank, either candidates were not going to be able to fix it.
I think you got a good point. Trump's method he wants to do is quite unique. I don't know. I got my, hopefully it works, but I've got my doubts about anything can be able to work. But what he wants to do, he wants to put really stimulate the economy by reducing taxes, by encouraging businesses that come back to the United States, these businesses that have left this country, that encourage them to come back to the United States. And I'm just hoping it works, and we'll see.
Yeah, I mean,
but Hillary doesn't have
ideas are great, and we all have great ideas.
Yes, I know
now
that.
It's how we're going to make them work.
Right.
That's the problem, and I really don't see the next 4 years being success for any president that's going to get
It's going to be very difficult.
Doesn't matter which one.
You got to face the problems that we have. You got these, like I say, major money problems. Okay, we've got no jobs. The jobs have all left. You got to try to bring them back, and all this healthcare problems we've got. While hospitals are actually closing down now, rather than opening up, hospitals are actually closing down because of lack of funds and so forth. And it's a disaster, complete disaster. There's Obamacare. And Trump's going to eliminate it, but he's going to replace it with something else. And going back to the old system, I guess, where you've got more competition rather than just having a few. Right now, you just got a few, big thing, United Health and Blue Cross, and very few places you can go to buy your health insurance these days. It's been very, very limited. So it's a mess. Basically, it's a mess.
And I really don't think how he's going to be able to do that. I mean, one thing that we were going to start talking about at the last meeting, and we didn't had actually time for, is the immigration. And believe me, every president gets elected by one thing. And one thing that really has been, that Donald Trump's been having a lot of support is on the immigration issue. And he's winning a lot of votes because of immigration issue. But how do you gonna build a wall and resolve the immigration issue?
Well, the immigration problem is massive. And in fact, they're saying right now it's got a lot worse. Just in the last 2 or 3 weeks, somehow that because of the election coming up, I think that's something to do with it. But the immigration problem has gotten a lot worse in the last 2 or 3 weeks, and they're all the immigration people say they've never seen it anywhere near as bad as what it is at the present time. It's people are worried about the election, worried about Trump getting in, what's going to happen, and so forth. But it's a major problem. The drugs we have right here in the city, because of this lack of controlling the borders, all this drugs that are coming into this city and into this country everywhere, like Manchester, New Hampshire, where I have an office up there. Somehow it's a nice city, but somehow it's a major drug area. They claim there's more drug arrests up there per capita than many of the other major cities in the country. So these are things that.
But the drug issue, Frank, I think it's something that it's not just a New Hampshire problem or a Massachusetts problem. It's a country problem.
It's a country problem. I agree. Yes, I agree.
If you track the drug,
yes,
and the drug that people get, addicted with the drugs, it's going to bring you where? It's going to bring you into the doctor's office. That's the number one. That's where the drug addiction starts. And to stop that abuse, it's sitting right on our state representatives. They have the knife and the cheese to cut it. Okay? So we really don't need Hillary or Donald Trump being president to resolve the addiction problem.
Well, we're going to vote. We're going to vote this, the night when this thing is being aired.
Yes. We're
going to vote on drugs, which I'm with Democratic Mike Rodriguez on that. I don't think that we should have that in this state. I think it's going to be more major problems, and we have way too many drug problems right now without trying to bring in, you buy it at your local drugstore or whatever it is there. I'm definitely that number 4. I'd be voting no on that there, and we'll see what happens. But I think it's just bringing in more problems that we really don't need.
I will go yes on it just for the fact that that can make a difference in the people that actually need that medication,
well, that's
marijuana medication.
We have that now. The people that need it, we have medical marijuana is allowed, and that's it. I think my daughter's a doctor, and she says the same thing. It has use, medical marijuana, but when you say here it is, folks, anybody can get it, and you may put a limit, say 21 and 18, whatever the age is, but still once you open the doors, it's going to be available to anybody who's under 18 if they want it. Their friend can buy it for them, something like that. So it's not a good policy. I don't think.
Since that we went into the questions,
okay.
I want to have you. So on this one we
don't agree.
We don't agree.
Okay.
Another one, number 2, we don't agree. Now on question 2.
Okay, question 2. My feeling is that particularly for Fall River, is that there's so many poor families here, and it's a chance for some of them to go to a much better school system where there's only 20 students per child rather than like 40, all the problems that we have. And I think the parents should have a choice. If they want to send their kids to a charter school they think is better, they should have the option of doing it, and not saying, tough luck, you've got to be wealthy and you've got to be able to afford it, otherwise you can't go. I think it's almost like a crime, in my opinion, to deny them that right, and since it's much more cost effective too, because they need less money that they can live by with 20 students per class, which they have now, and for about $10,000 a year, while the city takes it's like $20,000 to get by, so you get 2 for the price of 1 in a sense. If it's going to fail, if the parents don't want to send them there, it will fail.
Yep.
But if the parents want to send them there, I think we should give them the right to do that. So
we agreed on this one.
Good.
So
okay. All right.
We got one. We got 1 out of 3.
Okay.
So that's good.
Okay.
And my opinion on this, it's not just the choice for the parents, but it's also that the kids that are on that charter schools, they're there to study. They're there because they want to learn.
Right.
Versus the public school, which they're right when they say, you know, we need to accept everybody. I understand. But they start changing a little bit because guess what? The school on Rock Street,
Yes.
it's with kids that had troubles in the public school system.
Okay.
So they're already starting the divide
Right,
to
right.
pick the bad ones
Put them aside.
and put them aside.
All
So
right.
you cannot say that the charter schools don't take the bad kids.
Right, okay.
And or you know they take all the kids when they already getting them separate.
Right.
Okay, so it's like a charter school.
Yes.
We don't want you here if you don't want to start it. If you don't want to be a good student, we don't want you here.
Yes, that's-
so with this,
They're already starting to do
what
that.
they do it is they open a school to put the kids that are
Forwards.
having trouble
Right,
learning.
yes, okay.
In there, which I agreed. I have no problem with that.
Right.
I prefer to have 20 kids that really want to learn and they're gonna pass.
Right.
And have one kid that don't want to learn that we're gonna spend more time and more money
Right.
to teach him. I don't have problems spending more money on that kid.
Yes.
But don't put them together
Right,
because
right.
instead of we having one losing in 24 and 20 students,
Yes.
on the end we're gonna have 10 losing and 10 passing.
Right.
Because of that only kid
Yes.
that they're gonna distract 10. So. We're doing good,
Okay,
Frank.
good,
We're
good.
doing
We're
good
picking-
on this one.
Well, what's the other two now? We got two.
Question one is the casino.
Right. I would vote in favor of the casino, and I'm a little bit prejudiced. I have some property right near there. It would make the values go up.
Let's make that ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, I go to Vegas. I used to go every year. I haven't gone the last couple of years to the NAB, National Association of Broadcasters Convention. So I haven't made it the last couple of years. But I do not gamble. But Las Vegas has been extremely successful, which a fellow by the name of Donald Trump's got this big tower out there.
Yeah.
Stands out all over the place. You can see it from different angles there. But anyways, he's but he's got that tower. But I think it's good. I think it would be good, even though it just circulates money. It doesn't really bring in new money. And you put one in Tiverton, which is what the looks it's going to be, it will help out the Fall River area, I believe, particularly the south end of Fall River.
Yeah, I believe that too. So, yes, I think that even that's not in Fall River, it's so close to Fall River that probably 80% of the people that's going to be employed there, it's going to
Right.
be from Fall River.
Right, yes.
Because it's so close to Fall River that they're actually from Providence. So guess what? It's closer for a person to find a job there.
Absolutely.
Being so close and being in Fall River.
I have a tenant right now that lives on my Plymouth Avenue house that is now working at the other place, in Lincoln, with the idea that when this one opens, she'll be transferred there. So,
but I have to tell you this: today it's a dangerous move because I do the bus trips
Yes.
to Foxwoods with the seniors
Oh, yes,
from the
okay,
center
right.
for the past 5 years.
Okay.
And we just did one back in October. And it's been every time that I go back, I see less people. Every time. It's a big difference in people there. And we go on a good day. We go on a Saturday.
Right, yes.
We're going on a Saturday.
That's part to do with the economy, I think. Carlos,
So
yes.
that's the only thing I think that that's a dangerous
Right, but-
dangerous investment
yeah,
right
that's-
now.
Yes.
But just because the jobs going to be available, and
Right.
we know the jobs that are people can be employed there,
Right.
I think deserves a chance.
Be good
Deserves
for this area. I
deserves
think it'd be
a
good for
vote.
this area. I agree.
Definitely. Question 4, because we stepped.
Okay.
Question 4 is about the animals, the having some regulations on farm animals.
I think that go along. I think that Mike Rogers agrees on that too. Is we don't really need that law. It's going to be too strict. I think it's going to be too strict, and I think that's going to hurt the Massachusetts farmers, which they don't want it, and the economy. So I would say no, it shouldn't go through. What do you think?
I'm going to go with yes for the fact that that will put more teeth into something that we need to fight, if we have to fight. Because we had the example just 3 months ago that person that was, animals dead all over the farms, all over the farm there, and we see more and more abuse, not enough space, cages with not enough space to have animals there. So that's going to put teeth and say, if you want to have chickens, you need the 20 by 20 for 10 chickens.
All right. What I'm saying?
I
understand what you're saying, but what I'm afraid of is the fact that there'll still be chicken farmers, but now they may, like it happened to other things in this country, we've lost, like the coal mines, for example, they still get coal. They just go to a different place. So my feeling, what's going to happen if they get these strict laws, that the chicken farmers here will either, they'll move, or somebody else will open up in a state that doesn't have these laws, and we will lose. The stuff will still be done, but it just won't be done here in Massachusetts. That's my feeling towards it. So I would say it's not going to be good. But I'm only one vote, and everyone's voted by the time.
At this point, we're at 3-3, so that's good. We're still good, Frank.
Okay, good. All right.
By the time we have probably another 6 or 7 minutes of the show.
Okay.
By another 7 minutes, you're going to get out of here and vote for Hillary. So.
No, I think I'm already voted by then.
So, but and coming back to the presidents, my only thing and reason that I picked Hillary over Donald is for the fact, and like I said on the beginning, trash, it's all over. They're all dirty. They all said stuff they're not supposed to say it. They all did stuff they were not supposed to do. They all abused the system that we know. They all abuse money on the foundations. So both of them. The only reason that I pick Hillary, number one, is because the experience. Not saying that she did bad decisions.
Okay.
Yes, she did bad decisions, but she do have experience. Who she's going to bring behind the curtain is an ex-president that somehow did what I think that he did good during his 4 years that he was there. He did good things.
It was 8 years, by the way. He was there for 8 years. Yes.
So he did good things there. And the thing is, she was before before she was behind the curtain, and he was sitting on a desk. And now we're going to reverse the situation. She's going to be sitting on the desk, and he's going to be behind the curtain. So can he come up with some ideas that probably the country's still going to benefit? Maybe. But versus Donald Trump, the experiences that he has is, and that's what he's running, is being a good businessman. And it's out there, proofs. I'm not talking about posts, friends putting posts. I'm talking about proofs. It's out there, information and proofs that he's not as good business person that he says that he is.
He is extremely good business person. It's a joke. He's worth $8.7 billion. And to say
minus the money that we lost with him already.
This guy is not a good businessman. It's not good. The other hand, that Hillary is loaded, completely loaded with problems with all this WikiLeaks stuff, which I've seen a lot of, and it is bad news, and the public hasn't yet. So I don't know what's going to happen with that, but she's definitely snuck by these FBI before, just on the minor charges of this email stuff. But there's a lot of other things out there that, when this WikiLeaks stuff gets out, which now the FBI has, I guess, 100,000 different emails. When that stuff all gets out, it's going to be one one big mess this country is if she does get elected. Either way, even if she loses, it's going to be a big mess because that's going to be headline news worldwide. The rest of the world is not reading what we're reading here. They have much more exposure than what we've got. And one of the things I find that the gal was here a couple of weeks ago, we did this thing, and other people, that mostly Hillary supporters do not, and I repeat, I don't know a single one, most of them do not go to Drudge Report. They do not listen to Rush Limbaugh. They watch Fox News some, but not that much. But those are your three major sources of news. And you'll find out, you check, most people that go with Hillary do not see those sites or listen to those three avenues, all right? And in my opinion, that's where the news is, because you're not getting the news.
You know what is funny? You know what's funny during this campaign was every time that it was at the end of a debate, I will go through the different channels just to see what they're saying.
Right.
And it's, Fox was all the way with Donald. And 2 minutes after the debate it's ended, they already say, oh, Donald definitely win this debate. They win. Okay. So you change to CNN, now it's Hillary. Hillary definitely win this. So you sitting in there that you didn't make up your mind yet. You say, which one win this debate? Right. It's like,
the one that
we cannot trust anybody anymore.
I switch back and forth. But the state that I watch is C-SPAN with the debates. Because they just...
I even tried the Spanish to see if the Spanish was different.
No, but C-SPAN gives you what's going on the floor. They give you the actual debate. Yeah. And what the other ones do is they have commentators talking all the time, and you're not really seeing the debate. You know what I'm trying to say? You're just catching the floor. You want to see the convention, what's going on. C-SPAN's the place to go.
One thing that we're going to agree, then we have 2 minutes.
Okay.
Is doesn't matter who's going to win, we are in trouble.
That's right. I definitely agree with you.
We are in trouble.
Yes.
And that's how I want to finish our show today.
We're in trouble.
Pray for us, please. All the other countries out there, pray for us, because if we don't get this country great again, we are in trouble.
See, he's converting already.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Okay.
And by the way, the Americans take it for granted. That's why they say this country it's not great. For me, that I have this country as a choice.
Okay.
This country was and will always be the great country to live in.
Hopefully you stay.
So, Frank,
yes, okay.
if you hear a call from me,
okay.
later on, it's because I want to tell you very sorry that you lost.
Okay.
So I hope you don't have to call me with the same news. Frank, again, thank you for coming.
Okay, my pleasure,
it was great. Maybe I have to bring you back now to see,
Yeah, that's right.
How was the result?
I'll bring a box of tissues with me so you can have it, Carlos. Okay.
Very good, guys.
Okay, thank
you. Let's see the results of the election, and we'll be back next week to talk about. Thank you.